Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to use the complete grip kit that's sold to you by Wedge Guys on Amazon. The kit today came in this one bag here. In the bag was one rubber vice clamp, one pack of grip tape strips, and then one pack of reusable solvent, 4 ounces. And a lot of you look at that and think that's no way near enough to do 14 clubs, but I'm going to show you how it is. It came on with this black cap that was here. I already moved it and put the spray nozzle on here for us to get us started. So I'm going to show you step by step how to get through this and what you might need to make this job a little bit easier for you. Alright guys, so the first thing you're going to do is have to remove the old grip that was once on the club. I already did that just for the time's sake of the video. But when you do remove an old grip, we recommend using something like this. It's a hook blade razor. When you do that, I just like to hold it underneath my arm with one hand and cut away from us. The hook blade allows you to protect the shaft a little bit more, make sure you're not doing too much damage to the club. Once you do get the grip off, you can just discard it, throw it away, it's garbage by now. What you want to do is remove the old tape that was on the club as well. This is a tape scraper, just a kind of a dull knife. Same thing, holding it in one hand, scraping away from us. You can also peel it off by hand. It's not too hard, not too difficult to get the club off. Now, I do hear some things on Amazon, people saying that the tape tends to bunch up, it doesn't stick to the club well, doesn't do this or that. Well, what happens is a lot of times what people do is they use the grip solvent to remove any excess tape that's on there, any excess residue, sticky residue, anything like that. And when they do that, a lot of times people don't wait long enough or dry the club properly. And what that does, then it makes the tape not adhere to the club like it's supposed to. So if you do want to use this, get any residue off, make sure you are drying the club fully, 100%. Now, once the club is all prepped, ready to go, tape is off, everything is good to go, we're going to use the vice clamp that they sent us. The vice clamp just clips onto the club here, onto the shaft, and you hold it in. You can do this in hand before you put it in the vice, but you want to make sure that you are lining the club up in the playing position with the vice clamp on. This is the vice that we're going to use. Obviously the vice clamp's here now to protect the club, so when we clamp this club into the vice, we're not going to want to pinch the shaft, damage the shaft, or break it that way. So once we get this club in here, we're going to set it in, and what I mean by playing position is making sure that club is kind of perpendicular in the air like that, so when you're addressing the golf ball, anything like that, the club faces square, because we want those alignment patterns on the grip to kind of match that. Now I have the club tightened into the vise there, so it's not going to want to move or twist around, do anything like that. What you can kind of do is make sure, do a dry run. We want to make sure that there's enough room from the back of the end of the club to the vise that the grip isn't going to hit the vise. So we want to make sure that we get the grip fully onto the club without the butt end being loose. What I mean by that is, as you can kind of see here, the grip has plenty of room. We still have room here for the grip to kind of make its way onto the club and not be, too short. So now that the club's secure in the vise, what we want to do is we want to make sure, get everything ready. We got our grip, we're going to get our grip tape that they sent us here, the double-sided grip tape. As you can kind of see in the double-sided grip tape, there's two sides. There's a solid side and there's a side that's split. What I wanted to do is take the solid side off first. So you're going to hold onto the tape here, remove the piece that's one solid side, and discard it. One thing I see on Amazon too is people reviews, the tape's not as long as the grip. Everybody complains that the tape's not as long as the grip. This doesn't matter. It's not going to affect the performance of the club. It's not going to do anything wrong with what we're doing today. So what we're going to do is come over to the club, and we want to leave at least 1/4 inch over the butt end of the shaft like this, and smooth out the middle first. So both ends are going to be up in the air like so. What we're going to start then doing is removing 1/2 at a time, moving the back side of the tape, throwing it away, and laying this flat down over the shaft of the club. Once that side's flat, the other side, move it away, and then down. Again, now we have about 1/4 inch left over here on the butt end of the club. We want to make sure that we push that 1/4 inch into the butt end of the club. What that's going to do, it's going to help us stop the tape from sliding or moving around as we're putting the grip on as well. Again, you can kind of see maybe from there is the tape is about 1.5 inches shorter than the grip. Again, that doesn't matter. You're going to be able to see here as I put the grip on, it's not going to affect the performance one bit. You'll be able to see once the club is dry, the grip's not going to move around. It's nothing you need to be worried about. Now the next thing that I start to go on is the solvent. Again, 4 ounces of solvent. People don't think it's enough. People don't think that you could do 14, 15, 16 clubs with this, but you can because this is reusable. So what I have to do is use like a paint tray or something similar to this. You could use a Rubbermaid container or anything like that. This is going to be used to catch any excess solvent as you go over the grip tape and use it each time. And then what you can do is use a small funnel, use something like this, pour the excess back into the bottle. It's all reusable. You're going to have plenty of solvent to do the 14, 15, 16 clubs that you need to do. So the next step after this is get your grip and get prepped. Some people like to use a T or something similar and cover the vent hole. I use my finger. It just makes the next step a lot easier for me. So once you finger covering the vent hole and plugging that hole, you want to squirt solvent into the grip. This is where you don't want to be stingy. 14, 15, 16, even 20 sprays of solvent, that's fine. We're going to reuse this solvent. It's not going to be wasted. You're going to have enough to do it. So use a generous amount of solvent. So once you get a generous amount of solvent sprayed into the grip, cover up the other end with your finger. Make sure you shake that grip around, coating the inside of the whole grip. We want to make sure the inside of the grip is completely covered in solvent and wet. Now, with the excess solvent, we don't want to just dump it anywhere, we don't want to waste it. The finger that's covering up the vent hole, or the T that's covering up the vent hole, we want to remove that over the top of the grip tape that's on the club. So just like this, let any of that excess solvent that was in the grip run out over. Now we're not going to put the grip on right now. We're going to take the rest of the solvent, our spray bottle, and we're going to spray this a good 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, making sure that the grip tape is wet. We want to make sure that that's fully coated and wet. Now we're going to grab a towel, something small works better, and we want to make sure now at this point, we do this fairly quickly, is get the grip started over the top of the butt end of the club. Once it is, in one motion, slide that grip on. We like to use the towel just to kind of catch any of the excess solvent that kind of squirts back out of the vent hole. This way you're not going to get it all over yourself or make a mess anywhere that you're doing this. Now the grip is fully on the club. We want to make sure that at this point, what we're going to do is align the club with our club. So it's in a playing position in the vise. This is our time that we can kind of twist the grip around, making sure that it lines up the way that we want it to. Once you get it kind of set up and where you want, use a towel, use something, wipe up any excess solvent that's around, and then you just loosen the vise. Once the vise is loose, vise cap can come off. We just want to set the club down with the grip down, propped up in the air, letting any excess solvent kind of drain from the club. Give it about an hour or two and it's ready to play. Touching on one last thing that I do see on Amazon, again, with reviews, a lot of things that people see, is they think that the glue tends to gum up. When you're going to see that glue gum up and start to make the grip difficult to slide onto the club, it's when you don't use enough solvent. I can't stress that enough, just make sure you use a lot of solvent, 15, 20 sprays inside the grip, another 10 sprays on the tape before you slide the grip on, and try to do that as quick as possible. That's going to make everything a lot easier for you.